Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Param Vishvaro Guratmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomabda Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sabha Vedanta Sedanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satguru Pranatoshmaham Om Shanti Shantyam Namaste. I'm not even going to change my name. I will be Fabio Bonafé today. Verse 34. In this illusion, this is silver, the pale oyster shell is the thing perceived, and it's real. By an arrow, these notions, this-ness, and its reality. Is this the verse we unfold today? We are on the 34 still, right? Yeah. So it's an arrow, as we know, the notions in reference to what is clearly, which is perceived, as we don't see the shell going back, but we see silverness in the shell, and then we say this is a rupee or this is silver. So there is a transfer, an imaginary transfer of silverwood to shellwood. In the same way, the ideas of self and existence, which belong to Kutastha, are transferred to the Jiva through the error caused by ignorance. So this is the verse we are unfolding, following the exposition of Swami Paramarthananda. The paragraph is on page 423. We stopped at that sentence which says, "This will be dealt with elaborately in 18 verse." You remember that we just thought like, oh my God, 18 verse elaborating on superimposition and negation of superimposition. And then on the following paragraph, it says, the first line talks about anavrata vishesha amsa. And the second line talks about anavrata samanya amsa. So just to refresh our minds, the vishesha amsa means a part. Vishesha are the specifics of the part that I have been translated as the namarupa. Okay, so we have everything that we experience has isness, has existence, but it has as well a name and a form. The namarupa is going to be according to the qualities and properties of that configuration, which is a superimposition on consciousness, as we know. So everything we experience is a vishesha, anavrata. So it says in the first line, it talks about anavrata. It's uncovered vishesha part, a specific part. So when we say this is a glass, okay, so we are seeing Brahman here, we are seeing existence aspect of Brahman, but we are seeing it uncovered as an object, which is the Namarupa part of Brahman existence, appearing as this superimposition caused by the super Maya, Mr. Maya, powerful Maya. So on the first line, we looked at that. The second line talks about the uncovered Samanya Amsa. The Samanya Amsa is the how you say, it's not it is the foundational aspect, foundational part, okay? It's a generalized foundational part. So the second line is going to address that which is the isness, which is the foundation aspect, which is not covered. It says that it is uncovered. So we have the uncovered Brahmarupa, Namarupa, and we have the uncovered isness, which is Brahman, okay? So we have Brahmahood there, and then we have a Namarupa there. Both are uncovered. Why the author here says that they are uncovered? Because we see something, we just do not know what it is. So the existence of something is in there. So, and that is uncovered because we know there is something, but under certain circumstances, I don't clearly know what that thing is. Huh? So therefore, it's uncovered as well. It's saying here, we see the uncovered Namarupa of something, and at the same time, on the second line, he addresses the substantial nature of that Namarupa, of that specific Vishesha part. And we see also the uncovered Samanya Amsa, the part which is, the foundation, the existence itself, if we discount the Namarupa, the specifics of that configuration. So he presenting both in this verse, the first line and second line. The Anavrata Samanya Amsa, which is the uncovered foundational part, is experienced. So we see there is something there. We believe that it may be a silver coin. We believe that it may be a snake. We see something there, but we don't see exactly, okay? But we experience the isness, the Samanya Amsa, the foundational part. What is the foundational part of anything we experience? Is Sat, existence, is that which concedes existence to every configuration of Maya. So we come in contact with that, but unfortunately, very often we superimpose our interpretations, our biases, and we don't see things exactly as they are. This operates in every field of our lives, life experience. So everything that we interpret, we believe we know this, we know that, this is my idea, this is my opinion. So there is a lot of superimposition going on at all times. So we have them there in two lines. The uncovered Samanya is experienced which with the silver coin, on which the Adhyasta Vishesha Amsa. So the Adhyasta is the superimposed specifics of the particular part. So it's going to see the uncovered foundational part and then the superimposed particular part. And the bottom line here is that we experience both. But what happens is that we experience the foundational uncovered part unconsciously, subconsciously. We don't understand because we never got in contact with analysis at this level, that we experience something even if we don't quite understand what it is. And that is uncovered to us, okay? But it is Vishesha, this is a foundation. It's foundation, but it appears as ignorance. And that is the interesting thing. It appears as I don't know what it is, but we experience. And that which we do not know is what we need to know, because it's the only knowledge that's going to resolve our problem, okay? So we are all the time experiencing this uncovered isness, this uncovered foundational part of everything. So what is the most relevant things in this teaching here? Every time we experience the uncovered existence, the uncovered consciousness, is this foundation, is the foundational aspect, okay, of the entire existence, which is happening within this foundational aspect. And I myself, I am this foundational aspect. So I'm experiencing myself, and I'm experiencing my Namarupa. It's the same teaching as always. I'm experiencing the self, and I'm experiencing my body-mind complex. So, but I'm not aware that I'm experiencing the self. I'm experiencing the self as what? As a foundational, uncovered existence that I don't quite understand what it is, but we experience. That's why we have the statements that Jiva Atma experience the self at all times, because, this foundational aspect of our existence as an experiencing entity is there at all times. And then when we start turning to it, trying to discover what is this I, what is the self, and then we don't quite understand what it is. Although we are in contact with it, we are experiencing it, somehow, but we don't quite know. But this foundation, uncovered, revealed, hidden in the eye, how is the express, hidden in the eyesight. How is that expression?
Hidden in plain sight.
Thank you. It's hidden in plain sight. So people ask, what are you, Mark? You say, I am this body and I am this mind. And then Mark, being a wise man, he said, but I'm not that. I'm the foundational part. And I am here fully revealed as Brahman, as consciousness, as existence. So I am this existence and I am the body-mind. So for transactional purpose, I present myself as the body-mind. But in truth, I can present myself as I am. I am the uncovered foundation conscious existence on which this body-mind was superimposed. This particular part was superimposed. And then he says, it's like that because anavrata, this uncovered body-mind, this uncovered namarupa part joins the uncovered samanya amsa. Then it's a bit interesting, this language here, because it says that this happens because the uncovered name and form, namarupa, meaning to say the body-mind, they uncover, because everybody sees clearly that there is a body-mind. This uncovered, fully revealed body-mind, it can join. In fact, it joins, whether it wants or not, it joins the covered samanya amsa. So now he's presenting the samanya amsa as covered. Why? Because we don't quite know. We have to be careful when we look here, because sometimes he points to the fact that it's fully revealed consciousness. Now he says that it is apparently avrata, covered. Foundational aspect, the foundational part is covered, as it says here. Covered foundational part. So it's like the uncovered namarupa. Let's go back to Mark. The body-mind of Mark joins the covered foundational part, but it's covered not for Mark, it's covered for people who do not have self-knowledge, you understand? So for people who are looking, the Anyani, they do not see the foundational aspect, the foundational isness, the foundational self of Mark. So, and then it says it's covered. And then the covered aspect joins the Namarupa aspect. In fact, the covered aspect is the background. That's why I like sometimes, I think he says background or foundation. It has a connotation of background. So we have the background, which is Satya, which is Satchitananda, and then the Namarupa appears as joining, okay? As if it's joined. In fact, it's not a question of joining. The Vishesha uncovered part, the Namarupa, cannot exist without the background, without the foundational part, which is not seen by the Anyani, okay? So you guys, please interrupt me, help me if you feel inclined, question me if you need to do so. And then say it's like that because anavrata vishesha amsa can join avrata samanya amsa later on gaining knowledge. So once you know what you are, and then what's happening, that which was covered becomes uncovered. It's like that because anavrata vichesha amsa can join the covered part, the foundational part, on gaining self-knowledge. So it means to say the body-mind, the Vishesha Amsa, the part of the specifics of the body-mind, of the Namarupa, the Jiva, which is uncovered, it can join the Samanya Amsa, the which was covered before self-knowledge. On gaining self-knowledge, the Namarupa, the body-mind, it somehow it becomes one, it merges. Merge is a good word instead of join. Every one of these words are going to give us a sense of space, time, and movement, join or merging. So this specifics of the Namarupa, the body-mind complex, is going to dissolve or merge in the Samanya Amsa, which was covered before self-knowledge, which becomes uncovered on gaining the self-knowledge. It is experienced upon the Rupya. Rupya is adhyasta. Okay. It is experienced upon the silver. Rupya is adhyasta vishesha amsa. Adhyasta vishesha amsa. Okay. So the silver was superimposed. Adhyasta vishesha amsa is the superimposed part. So it's experienced upon the rupya. Rupya is adhyasta. I don't know. I think he's trying to say that the Samanya Amsa, which was uncovered, becomes known, becomes uncovered, and then it is experienced upon the Rupya, which was the body-mind complex. So upon the body-mind, so the knowledge or the merging, Rupya is adhyasta vishesha amsa, which is the superimposition of the body-mind. Not only that, another thing also happens. Now, take this statement, this is silver. This belongs to uncovered foundational aspect or part of the shell. This is something belongs to what? To the uncovered foundational part of the shell. So we have the shell, the uncovered foundational part. It's there as isness. Yeah? So this is Satya. This is refers to the real shell only. The project silver coin is unreal, but because the real part, this is joins the unreal silver part, now there is confusion. Okay, now it became more clear. So we have the isness of something, and we are taking the analogy, the metaphor, the example of the shell, okay? The seashell. So this refers to the shell, the seashell. The project silver coin, so now we're going to superimpose the idea that this may be a silver coin, is unreal, but because the real part is there together, mixed up with the unreal, which is the projection, because you cannot project unless you have a foundation, unless you have a background, because the real part, which is the isness, joins the unreal part, it's unavoidably. We have the silver coin project on the shell, and that's but because the real part, the isness, gets mixed up with the silver part, now there is confusion. The real silver coin appears as to be a real coin. Okay.
Arlindo, I'm confused. I'm confused by the fact that he talks about when he says it is like that because Anvrita Vishesha Amsha can join Unavrita Vishesha Amsha, can join Avrita Vishesha Amsha later on, gaining the knowledge.
Okay.
So to say Avrita Samanya Amsha, which means covered,
No.
right?
Avrita
So,
covered.
but Samanya Amsha is never covered. The self is never covered, really. So I don't see. I'm almost wondering if it's a typo,
No, it's
because
not.
I really don't understand how you could say that.
I was trying to explain that because in the same way in our texts, in our teachings and expositions, many times we say that the self is hidden in plain sight, but it's hidden. Yeah. Unless you know.
Oh, I see.
Unless you
I see
know
what.
the self,
Okay, very good.
Upon self-knowledge, that which was covered becomes uncovered. It's like that because uncovered Vishesha Amsa, this uncovered fundamental existence, or no, specifics of the Namarupa of the body-mind, is going to merge with what? With what was before Vrita Samanya Amsa, okay? Before it was appearing as hidden, but it was not really hidden because upon knowledge, they join together, they merge. That's why we say that there is no real any movement or expansion or transcendence or anything when the Jiva understands that the Jiva is its foundational part, foundation nature, okay? So it's there. Where is my foundational nature? Where is the background of my body-mind complex as Satchitananda? Where? So we go about looking for it, and this appears to be hidden, covered, okay? But as we saw, it's not really covered, but we need a body of knowledge, the scriptures on self-inquiry, to uncover that which was not covered, but it was uncovered due to our inability to see that it was hidden in plain sight. In other words, it was never hidden, but my intellect could never understand that was not covered. Okay? And here he goes on talking about the confusion. He says, therefore, adhisthana, the foundational aspect of my being transferred reality to the superimposition, adhyasa, the unreal silver. So therefore, the foundational aspect of my being, meaning to say Satchitananda, this is what consciousness and existence, that somehow we say lends or transfers or concedes existence to all Namarupas. The Namarupas are superimposition, they are adhyasa. So this fundamental aspect of Brahman transfers, okay, or concedes or lends reality to the superimpositions. The superimposition in this example is what? It is the unreal silver, okay? So now, making a parallel here, drawing a parallel. So what is the unreal silver in the case of the Jivatma? Is the unreal ego, the unreal sense, I, myself, I and mine. So this ego is false, okay? This ego is the unreal silver, which was superimposed, as reality, but it is adhyasa, okay? It is a superimposition. I have the idea of self, and the self ideas I have about myself is all connected or wrapped up around my body-mind complex. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to superimpose or transfer that to my foundational nature, adhyasthana nature, okay? So now the I exists, the self exists I know I exist. I know that consciousness exists, but just like the unreal silver we superimpose on the shell. And the shell here is the symbol of what? Of the foundational aspect of the silver coin that was projected on the foundational aspect, which is the shell. So the same way we project the unreal silver on the foundational shell, seashell, we project the unreal body-mind in the foundational Satchitananda, which is not different from the unreal body-mind complex. So the body-mind complex is there, but it's not real. You see, when we go into these teachings, we start dealing with total negation of reality of the body-mind complex. You understand? And we need to digest that, and we need to understand why the body-mind complex is not real in every sense. And we have the teachings of the three states, and the three jivas, and the way they experience their respective realities in the deep sleep, in the dream state, and the awake state. And then we can, going through those teachings, we understand that this physical material reality, which includes the physical material agent, the body mind, okay, is an experience that is not that all the time. It appears and disappears, and then it's replaced with another agent, the dreamer, in another world, the dream world, okay? So it cannot be real. It's just, again, a double superimposition. No? We have the simple superimposition of the elements on that which is only conscious existence. And then we have another superimposition, which is from the Jiva Atma, that is going to superimpose its notions of values and so on the configurations of Maheshwara, which is the first superimposition. We have two superimpositions, you understand? So both are unreal. So the body-mind is not real, and there are several of our teachings that proves to us that it's not real because it's not there all the time. Is my signal okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear. You're breaking up a bit, but not terribly.
Okay. Good. Claudio has made a face. It's a good way to give him a signal, Claudio.
Yeah, because there was something that I had missed. So, but I have a question. Can I ask you a question that pops in my mind?
Please.
Because I tried in the last time to apply this discrimination from what we talk here, from the existence side and from the Namarupa side, okay? And I tried to apply this discrimination in situation where there was pain or there was suffering. I was ill in the last time, and so I tried to apply this discrimination. And of course, in one side, it is a great improving for me, no? Because reaching to discriminate, no, and to remember the teachings when you are suffering, it's something, no, it's improving. But at the same time, I see that nothing really changes in your experience. Okay, so suffering is still there. The only thing that I notice maybe is that you see that maybe I'm not sure, in fact, but maybe the suffering recovers a little bit faster, maybe. So I want to ask you about the effects, the benefits of this discrimination. Is because, you know, when you read the Danta text, you see that you can reach the removing of suffering. Okay, so what are the results of discrimination?
Okay, so I understand your question. It's a very common question, a very good question, You understand? So the whole purpose of self-knowledge is the removal of the psychological suffering element experienced by all human beings. We want to remove that. That can be removed only to the extent that we transfer our identity from the body-mind to the foundational aspect of the body-mind, okay? Foundational part, which is free, limitless conscious existence, okay? So we can only do that. So it means to say that the suffering is going to be neutralized or largely minimized to the degree that this self-knowledge is a hard and fast and always present self-knowledge, or a doubtless self-knowledge. It's so doubtless that somehow over a short period of time it begins transforming the way we experience the pleasures and pains of life. You understand? So self-knowledge is the key. To the degree that it's really clearly and doubtless and alive in my mind, and then it's automatic, even without need to do any discrimination. You see, when this self-knowledge is really appropriately held, you know, one does not need to do discrimination. There is somebody that sometimes used to show up here with us in the English class that he claims to have self-knowledge and so, but he says that I do this discrimination 24/7, and I suspect that he's still in the process, because once you have this self-knowledge, this discipline of discriminating all the time is no longer necessary. You understand? Because the knowledge is firm and always available and alive to neutralize great suffering, as we say in the Gita. And the Gita says, on the other hand, that Karma Yoga is going to be a shield that is going to protect you from great suffering as well. So what happens, Claudio, is that every time we are experiencing suffering, adversity, extreme adversity, if our self-knowledge is not really clear and doubtless and firm and available to us, this knowledge is there to help us in those moments, especially. And that's why I would say it has to be all the time available self-knowledge. Yeah? So once it's there, automatically, without one having to discriminate, this knowledge is going to neutralize the suffering element of that experience, okay? Because it's already spread in the causal body, in the emotional center of the mind of the yoni, you understand? So it's there. There's no need to do the work, but before it is really firm and properly internalized, so on, we need to keep doing what you do, discriminating. But sometimes when the experience is very uncomfortable, what happens? Our efforts to discriminate, they are not very efficacious. Why? Because to discriminate, you need to have the intellect in a very sattvic mode. And once, in the moment that we experience a certain adversity, and if we are caught up with an adversity, what happens to our discriminating faculty? It loses sattva, okay? It starts becoming too emotional, and it's going to lose subtlety, clarity, and then our discrimination is not going to be as efficient, because the mind is affected. So this is a common question. So it says that this discrimination should eliminate suffering right away. It's not really like that. Once it is properly integrated, digested, it's doubtless, it is permeating the three bodies and so on, and then it's there protecting you from going into any kind of extreme suffering. And I'd say that with my first-hand experience, understand? So this is when it's really firm, okay? If it's not, you have two ways to protect yourself from suffering. One is the Satyamitya discrimination of Jnana Yoga, the other is the Karma Yoga. When you see that your mind is in a condition that is not allowing you to effectively discriminate Satya from Mitya and therefore remove the suffering, you understand? What do? You apply Karma Yoga. You just immediately, you bring forth the knowledge about Ishvara, Jiva, and Jagata. You understand that this is the Prarabdha karma of this apparent Jiva, and this apparent Jiva is apparently suffering. Okay, and I don't want to be apparently suffering because I need my intellect clear. And then I bring about what? The teachings of self-knowledge, of Karma Yoga, Karma Dharma. Why? I'm going to understand that this is my Prarabdha karma. It serves certain purpose. I need to learn something here. My concern is not to push it aside, it's not to neutralize it, it's to learn something from it. You understand? If it's necessary, I throw a prayer to God, say, give me the force, the courage to take it in without, complaining, that the scriptures are not working. I just take it on the level of Karma Yoga, and then I will learn from that, okay? And even if it's very painful, I know I am exhausting some Papa Karma and so on. You understand that we have these two levels of teaching. The Jnani does not need to go there on the Karma Yoga. The Jnani is going to live as a Karma Yoga, in the sense that it's not as a Karma Yoga. He's going to live dharmically because he has fully integrated the teachings of Karma Dharma, and he became a very dharmic person. And he does what he does because he needs to be a good example, a good model, a role model in society. So he has the Karma Yoga fully internalized in his being. So he has the Jnana Yoga fully internalized as well. But before this Jnana Yoga is fully internalized, okay, so with the Jnani may have to do some Satyamitya discrimination here and there, okay? So no, this is Mitya, I'm okay, I'm fine. So for a moment, I may have had a forgetfulness, but I'm good. I understand Karma Yoga, I understand Jnana Yoga, and I'm free. Because you see that adversity does not get you the way it used to get you. And you gave some indications that you at least notice that it does not get you as bad, and you recover a little faster as well, right? And the suffering is minimized. That is exactly the way things go, okay? Anything else, Claudio?
Okay. No, very, very clarifying. Thank you.
When I say Jesus is silver, look upon the shell as real silver. This is the world according to Vedanta. In another example, this is the world according to Vedanta. This belongs to what? Adhisthana, Brahman only. It's to the foundational background of consciousness, the mirror of consciousness existence. When we say this is the world, we have two things. We have the totality of all Namarupas, the phenomenal world that appears designed by all these numberless configurations of Namarupas. So this is the world. This belongs to Brahman, and the world belongs to what? To the Namarupa. Belongs to Adhisthana, superimposition, Brahman only, which is uncovered Samanya Amsa. This belongs to Adhisthana Brahman only, which is uncovered Samanya. So in Vedanta, we stick to that. We say this is the world, means this belongs to Adhisthana Brahman only, the foundational ground of Brahman only, which is uncovered foundational aspect of Brahman. So in Vedanta, we say that this Brahman is uncovered. That is the whole purpose of Vedanta. This Brahman is not something hidden and unreachable and that requires time traveling and so on. No, It's all the time available. It's anavrata. Okay, the isness belong to adhisthana. The I transfer the unreal world. The I transfer the I transfer to the unreal world. The isness, yeah, the isness which belong to adhisthana, I transfer to the unreal world. Okay, so the isness of Brahman, I transfer to the world, and then what happens? I see the world as real again. It's extreme. Those are extreme statements of the Upanishads. So the isness, the only reality, the Sat aspect of Brahman appears there as the foundational ground of this world, which was superimposed on Brahman. And then what I do, I transfer the foundational, the reality, the isness of Brahman to the isness of the world. But we have to understand that this happens automatically. The unreal world has to be seen as an appearance. And that's what Vedanta says. If you rather prefer, see it as an apparent reality, mithya. It is an apparent reality. So the apparent reality and the absolute reality. The isness is Brahman, and then the world is appearing. And it is unreal, it's apparently real. But if I do not know that it's just an appearance, the same way the wave is an appearance on the ocean, if I don't know that it's the same superimposition as the names and forms of gold are superimposed on gold, the only reality, if I'm not aware of that, if I'm not aware of this foundational ground of beingness, of consciousness, I'm going to take the world as real. I'm going to take the Jiva, the agent transacting the world as real. But no, these are all superimpositions. These are all names and forms superimposed on gold, gold being the only foundational reality of all ornaments of gold. The isness, which belongs to adhisthana, I transfer to the real world. In this sentence, we have transferred the reality of adhisthana to the superimposition by making the statement that this is a snake. Okay? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna ask somebody to convert this PDF into Word, and then I'm gonna take my notes. I can edit. I take my notes side by side using the good work of Lynn, and that's gonna help a lot, Lynn. And then it's easier for me because I'm a little lousy with memorizing. This is the world according to Vedanta. Yeah, I transfer the unreal world into the adhisthana. The isness is Brahman, belongs to the foundational ground of the world. I transfer the unreal world into this foundational ground of conscious existence. I have transferred the reality which belongs to this foundational nature of Brahman to the superimposition by making the statement that this is the world, making the statement this is a snake. So I have project reality in this reality. You see, here when we say the world and the snake, we are looking at two levels of superimposition that I'm trying to bring to you guys' attention. When we say that there is a superimposition of the snake on the rope, this superimposition is an example on how so Maheshwara produce a superimposition such as the universe on Brahman. But the superimposition of the snake on the rope is done by I, the Jiva. Right? I, the Jiva, I'm going to superimpose, okay? Due to my bias, I'm going to superimpose the silver on the shell, seashell. I'm going to superimpose a snake on the rope. This is one level of superimposition we bring to our human experience. But there is a superimposition that is done by Maheshwara. Maheshwara superimpose what? Superimpose all the elements and all the configurations of the elements producing this phenomenon called the universe, the cosmos, okay? So this is likewise a superimposition, okay? So there is a Brahman, there is a world, and then there is the snake, there is the rope, and there is the snake. So the Jiva superimpose the snake in this example so that we can draw an analogy, you know, that the same way there is another superimposition. We cannot do anything about the superimposition of Maheshwara. We cannot make the world disappear because that was a superimposition produced by Maheshwara. But we can make the rope, the snake disappear into the rope. We can make the snake disappear. We cannot make the world disappear. Now, can I make my body mind disappear? No, because that is part of the superimposition produced by Maheshwara. Okay? So one is a superimposition that is called the Vyavaharika Satya, this apparent superimposition, this apparent universe which is produced by Maheshwara, and the other is my Pratibhasika superimposition, which is I project silver on the seashell, I project the snake on the rope. Okay, there are two levels of superimposition. We go to one to understand on the macro the situation. Why we need to do that? Because the same way we attribute superimposition on simple things like the seashell, okay, we're going to superimpose also things on the universe as a total in its entire reality. So what kind of superimposition we project on the world? We superimpose value. And we hear again and again in our text that the world is value-free. This is one of the statements we hear from James, from Ramji again and again. The world is value neutral, meaning to say what? We are the ones projecting value. We are the one project even goes beyond value, okay? We looked into the superimposition that we make on our small Pratibhasika, and then we go into the Vyavaharika, in the physical material universe, we project also value there, but then we need to go beyond the idea of projecting value in the world, the physical material. We have to go into the superimposition of reality into this physical material cosmos, universe. We project reality as well. We project so much reality in this world that Ishvara keeps presenting it back to us with every verse. Understand? Because we see reality and we see that this world may be the only way out. I need to find a way to transact here that I can do so without any suffering. And then Vedanta comes and says, there is no way you're going to win here, which is another famous statement of Ramji. You're never going to win here unless you step out of Mithya and you claim your nature as the foundational background of Mithya, of the world, of the universe. Okay? Any question? Any consideration? I transfer the unreal to the real world. In this sentence, we have transferred the reality of Adhisthana to the superimposition by making the statement that this is a snake and so on. Such in Mithya, I have mixed up in my mind. And I have transferred Satyabha to Mithya, or Mithyabha. So the discrimination, as Claudio was saying, between Satya and Mithya is exactly due to the fact that these two aspects that was present in this teaching, two parts, we know that there's no question of parts. So Brahman, conscious existence of limitless nature, is a partless whole, meaning to say it's only one without a second. There are no questions of parts. But there is Satya and there is Mithya, which is just a superimposition over Satya, which in reality is just like a mirage, which is the best example for us to understand how unreal this Mithya is. In the mirage we see, we experience, we are totally deluded by the reality of that superimposition on the desert sand. But yet, it's just a phenomenon. It's just an appearance. Satya and Mithya, they are always together. Why? Because you need Satya so that the foundational ground, you can project Mithya. Huh? So therefore, every time we experience Mithya, we experience Satya and we experience Mithya. And then we come to Vedanta, we say, yes, you experience Satya and Mithya. And then I want to know what part of my experience is an experience of Mithya and what part of my experience is an experience of Satya. This is a good inquiry. And that's where this text is taking us, How are we going to understand, I have mixed up them and I have transferred that which belongs to the Satya nature to Mithya nature. What I'm trying to say here, the scriptures say, I have transferred reality, which is the only thing, which is Satya and Satya alone, to Mithya, which is unreal and unreal alone. So this is the fundamental problem, is to transfer reality, which belongs to Satya, to Mithya. Huh? Why? Because we are lovers of truth, lovers of reality. I want to know what is this universe? What is this existence? What is this I experience within my mind, my intellect? So we need to know what is reality. Vedanta is the science of reality, sometimes presented that way, a science of conscious existence. So we want to know what is real in this big show, this theater project by God, let's say that way. Vidyaranya says that Satyatva, the reality, which belongs to the shell in analogy, is falsely perceived on the silver, and it's transferred to the unreal silver. So, likewise, Vidyaranya is saying that my Satya nature as Satchitananda, which is the reality, which belongs to my foundational ground of beingness, okay, is falsely perceived on the body-mind as the body-mind. Is falsely perceived or transferred on the body-mind, and I take the body-mind to be my reality. It's almost as if there is a transfer from the real to the unreal. I'm transferring reality from the reality nature of mind, the background, the foundational ground of my existence. I'm transferring that to what? To the body-mind. So now I cannot deny that the body-mind is there, infused with my foundational ground of reality, of existence. Otherwise, the body-mind would not exist. That's the problem. Satya pervades Mithya in such a way that they are all the time appearing together whenever Maya is in operation. Every time Maya comes in operation, Mithya is going to be always there, superimposed on Satya. And Satya is pervading Mithya without any effort. Satya is absolute akarta, does not do any pervading effort. It's just its being is going to allow a reflection called the universe, okay? And then we're going to see the reflection and we're going to take the reflection on the mirror to be real. But it's not. It's just a projection or a reflection. Vidyaranya says Satyatva the reality which belongs to the shell is falsely perceived on the silver. Therefore, it is transferred to the unreal silver. So something that was a shell was the existence, the foundational ground of this unreal silver. Something which is the true nature of the body-mind, the foundational true nature of the body-mind, conceits existence, apparent existence to the body-mind, and then its reality, which is the only reality, is transferred to the body-mind, which is not really real. It's not really real. And self-knowledge is the only way that we can see the decay and the collapse and the death of the body, from that angle. That is going to neutralize the panic experienced by all Anyanis when they come to that window. You understand? So self-knowledge is going to say, okay, so this is just unreal. This is just a false silver coin. I saw there was a great value. In fact, it has a certain value. In this sense, this analogy does not apply anymore. The body-mind has a certain value. It is not real, or it's apparently real. It exists within Mithya, which is an apparent reality, existing within Maya Ishvara, but it is within Maya Ishvara, within Mithya, that this fake body-mind self is going to understand its sattva nature, such a nature. You understand? So reality is going to be gained within the fake silver, the fake body-mind. In the beginning, we take it to be real, and then we develop some wisdom. We start investigating, and then we understand that it's not really real. The reality is something so subtle that it's difficult to perceive by the intellect. Okay. So we need to refine and do this work until we getting full recognition and of this fundamental ground of beingness, which is conscious existence. And then we can see the body-mind as fake silver, fake gold. You understand? The real gold is my conscious existence. The body-mind is fake gold. You understand? The fake gold is going to go. The Namarupa is going to go. And gold remains. Brahman remains. And I am that Brahman. This is the conclusion of every one of our Upanishads. If someone asks about the shell, you negate the existence of the shell, and this person, vehemently asserts the existence of the silver, thinking that the shell is not there, silver alone is there. So when you come to someone and tell them the body-mind is fake silver, okay, it's not really real. You are not that. You are not the body-mind complex. The person is going to feel offended and vehemently will say, no, the body-mind is real. In fact, the only thing there is the body-mind, okay? I am the body-mind. And I'm very proud to be this young and prosperous and successful body-mind. But then with maturity, the young body-mind becomes old. And then success turns into failures here and there. Sometimes one loses everything in terms of physical material gain. And then some people with gray hairs or no hairs, finally enough, understands that the silver was fake silver because, in reality, the true nature of the fake silver was what? The seashell. The true nature of this body-mind is Satchitananda. Why do you talk about the no-existence of the body-mind? Why do you talk? The guy is really upset by now. Why are you talking that this body-mind, this shell, is non-existent? Why do you talk about the non-existent shell? The guy is saying, you talk about Brahman, you talk about the foundational ground of the body-mind. All there is mind and energy and matter. So similarly, Vedanta says Brahman alone is the only reality. The world is like a coin, which does not exist at all, but we have managed with a fertile mind, beginningless ignorance, to transfer reality of Brahman to the reality, to the world, which is not really real. And on the other hand, we question the existence of Brahman. Look at the situation. So we don't accept the fact that Brahman alone is the only reality, that consciousness is the only reality, because I don't see, touch, smell, and hear consciousness at all, because consciousness is not an object that I can experience. And then I develop a mind which is totally grounded on this cosmic ignorance, okay? And then I transfer reality, which belongs to this invisible Brahman. I transfer to the body-mind, I transfer to the world. And then, on the other hand, not only I transfer it to the world is the only reality. When people say, yes, but Brahman also is real. I say, which Brahman? So some people say, okay, I got it. I understood Vedanta. And I understand the body-mind, the world is, Brahman is real, but the world is also real. It's already a little better stage, because now I'm saying, okay, so Brahman is real, and then Brahman is the background of the world, but then some philosophy, some spiritual philosophy says, okay, I accept Brahman, I accept the world is superimposition Brahman, but both are real, okay? And then, okay, if it's real, and then reality is duality, because we have two principles, okay? The spirit and matter energy. So we have two things at play, okay? And both are real. When both are real, so you mean to say, okay, but they are in two, and they are interacting, because one is the foundational ground of the second, okay? And then if there is an interaction, there is change, modification, and then we would have to say, okay, and then Brahman also changed, Brahman also is time-bound, and then this concept that reality is duality is never going to provide moksha to the person who has that kind of insight or understanding, okay? So the only freedom is by understanding that reality is non-dual, and the only reality is conscious existence, okay? And the world is just a mere superimposition that comes and goes. This is all due to Mahima of avidya and Maya. Mahima is the great power, the greatness of Maya. It makes people to see reality as matter energy is the only reality. The most people comes to energy. I will never forget, when I was young, I had my child, and we had a doctor, family doctor, that was supposed to be very good. They spent 10 years, 15 years in the USA doing all kinds. They were very, very genius, or high IQ, And then they came back, they established themselves in Brazil. And then on those days, I used to talk about energy. When I started talking to them about energy, he told me, these things of energy, they don't exist. We are doctors here. To us, all there is matter, okay? So nowadays, many doctors, they have integrated energies on the concept of anatomy, okay? So there are some energies. So they got, okay, there is matter and energy. But to talk in terms of the existence of the foundational ground of matter of energy is mithya, as we know. Matter is gratified energy, and energies subtle matter, as we often put. So this is all phenomenal and can be observed, okay? But there is something which is the background, the foundational ground on which energy and matter occurs. Okay, the power of Maya, the Mahima, the greatness of Maya is such that makes people deny. Yeah, some time ago, even energies were being denied, but now absolutely they deny the existence of the substratum or the background or the foundational ground on which matter and energy. Of course, science never will get there because they deny the existence of Brahman, and they attribute that all existence, all reality is to the phenomenal object that they observe and try to study. This is due to the Mahima of avidya and Maya. Yeah. The same way, Svatyaptima, the self, which belongs to the Kutastha, which is uncovered. So Maya is perceived or experienced along with the superimposed aham or ahamkara. Okay, we're gonna begin next Monday from here. Okay. Make a note here. Anything else?
Arlindo, just that I send you the word version of Panchadasi. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure if it's a good version. I try on internet. Let's see if it's good. Okay, let me know.
Did you do the conversion already?
Yeah, I did the conversion, but I'm not sure if it's a good conversion. So you have to verify it.
Also, because I have a Word 10, 2010, that may be not as good. Yeah.
Let's try.
Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lynn, for reminding me to register the class. Namaste. We meet soon again, Ishwara allowing.
Thank you, Arlindo.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Arlindo. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Claudio.